All right, our hosts have some topics they want to share, but only 3 minutes to discuss and 1 minute to hear from the audience. So type those comments in very fast. You are up, Lizzie. Don't forget about that mute button.
No, it's
Oh, I'm sorry.
Rob B.
Rob B is up. Rob B is up first. Sorry.
All right. So we're
Right.
going to take
Don't
this
you
back
forget.
to Brazil and Jair Bolsonaro. Since 2019, under his rule, there's been a decline in federal inspections of mining encroachments into indigenous lands and the Amazon rainforest. And he's passed a number of laws to facilitate this protest. And earlier this week, or last week, March 10th, 15,000 people gathered to protest in Brasilia against a package of bills that are deemed anti-environmental. So try saying that 3 times fast. And anti-indigenous. The lower house of Congress agreed to fast track one of those bills, which would allow mining inside indigenous lands. And that's an activity that's banned under Brazil's constitution. While some lawmakers say they oppose the bills and will vote against them, the bill enjoys the support of the president and the influential agribusiness lobby. So my question is, should the Amazon rainforest be a World Heritage Site to be preserved because we rely on it for clean water and oxygen worldwide?
Lizzie.
I mean, I think the easy, obvious question here is yes. Yes. And this is just a further example of how I honestly believe that humans are imperialist by nature, right? Whether they're taking over, conquering a nation of people in their land, or if they're just going in and conquering the ecosystem and the land itself. There seems to be this innate desire to just, you know what, I want that, and I want to use military force and power to take it over.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm so opposed to this. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so to answer Rob's question, yes, of course it should be preserved. But who does this bill serve? This is why I'm so shocked that this is even an option, because this is going to be, I think they said it causes irreversible environmental damage, like in
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
like the Amazon's like the lungs of the earth.
Yeah.
It destroys wildlife. It destroys animals, wildlife and animals that we don't even, in America, don't even know about, that we can't even easily identify yet. Not to mention the people who live in those areas or the surrounding areas.
Yeah, but the guy leading it is Bolsonaro. So that's basically Brazil's Trump.
100%.
I was going to say there's thousands of people that
men.
showed up. There's thousands of people that showed up, so that tells you the extent and the severity of what's happening. Because I was gonna say really quick, why isn't this such a big deal? But it is, because
It is a huge deal.
Thousands of people, celebrities showed up. So wow, we're facing some interesting.
And I think it's been a big deal. I think, because of all the other stuff that's going on in the world, we haven't heard that much about this issue over the past years. But I remember, protesting this in high school, back in the 90s. So this is something that's not going to go away until we destroy everything, pretty much. Until we destroy it all.
Quick comments online says, Jose says, it's all about the dollars. This breaks my heart. Absolutely true, Neo Nix. All about the dollars. All about the dollars. All right. Is this truth, lies, or shenanigans?
Some straight up greedy shenanigans.
Evil. That should be an option.
It is an option. It is pretty evil. It is.
I thought you said people. Yeah, well, yeah, it is very much people. Yeah.
Mike Wolf says, I am not as worried about rainforest destruction now that nuclear war is back on the table.
I mean.
Damn.
All right.
You have to be so bleak. You have to be so bleak.
Damn, all right. All right, Lizzie, you're up next.
All right. So for all you folks that got freckles out there, this is for you. 28 years ago, 13-year-old Eric Smith was convicted of murdering 4-year-old Derek Roby. Derek Roby was walking from his house to a park that was like maybe 2 blocks away. Yes, he was poor, but he lived in a town of 700 people. Very small town. This was not uncommon. And Eric Smith lured him into the woods, killed him. First, he strangled him, then he badgered his head in with a rock, and then he took a stick
No.
and sodomized him. So he was convicted of he was 13 years old when he did this, convicted of the crime and then sentenced to 9 years to life, right?
Right.
Well, he got out on parole after 28 years in February. So my question to our panel, to our audience, does the crime fit the punishment?
Wait a
Should
minute.
he have been allowed? Should he have been free?
Oh. Let's start with Gianni. Do you think he should have been freed?
I feel like it's side note, but I think it's interesting how only certain people get cute little murderer nicknames. But I think that
Yeah, for Black folks, it's just thug. It's just thug. We just call it thug.
right. But I think that that's hard. I'm still bad because I feel like he did serve a lot of time, but
Yeah.
I know he did treatment therapy, but
Yeah.
it's not my
Robbie?
call. I feel like it's not my fight. Yeah, I don't.
I don't know. Crimes against children. I react violently against, and this is the worst of the worst. In any other animal society, if an adolescent animal were to kill a youngling for no reason, the pack would kill the adolescent or they would drive them away. So the fact that this person got rehabilitated, now he's engaged and going to resume his
Yeah,
life
I
in New
forgot
York
that.
is
He's
disgusting. It's
engaged.
disgusting.
Listen,
It's gross.
I ain't got no man. This killer is engaged. This killer is engaged.
I'm just saying. Okay,
Only in
so
America.
this is my thoughts. This was almost 30 years ago. He was a child himself. Granted,
He's a
most
teenager.
psychopaths don't do not stop being psychopaths. So he may have psychopathic behavior. I don't know about being free without parole or anything like that, but I mean, he was 13 years old. He was a kid.
Did he say why? Like, what is your problem, kid?
Like,
Because he was
oh,
picked on. Because he was bullied against. So he wanted to be in a position of power. He wanted to know what it felt like to hurt someone rather than be the one receiving the hurt.
I mean,
That was his reasoning.
it's supposed to
But
be
in
about rehabilitation. Go ahead, 15 seconds.
But in addition to that, he exhibited, even before he killed this 4-year-old child, he exhibited a lot of psychopathic behavior. He was killing all the animals
Mm-hmm.
in the neighborhood.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And showed absolutely no remorse. And I said last week, I'm all for the old yellow treatment. Like, I think we have to stop,
Put him down.
sympathizing with people that pose a threat to the greater good. And I just want to ask you, would you want this kid? Okay, so now he's a grown man.
Let's take
Would
it
you
to the
want
after
him
show.
to move next door to you?
I definitely
Would you
wouldn't, but
want
let's take it to the after show if we want. Let's take it to the after show.
See?
All right, we got some
Everybody
comments
else's
online.
problem.
All right,
Everybody else's
Jose, what makes
problem.
a 13-year-old do this? Jacqueline Robinson, should he be castrated? Dang, you guys are intense, man, today. All right, Sonia C. Elias Cueto says he was 13. If he received therapy treatment, he should get a second chance. He was not an adult when he committed the crime. That's how I feel.
He gonna come live
We have
next to you?
lifers in
He gonna
DC
come-
that were
he
released
gonna come-
in our
he gonna come
productive
live next to
citizens
you?
today. I'm not trying to have him next to me, but I mean, I think he should be on some list.
Exactly.
He should be on some list or
Exactly.
something. I mean,
Exactly.
people
You
should
want
be
him to go live
aware.
next to somebody else.
People should be aware of this. All right,
Somebody else and pose a threat.
all right, is this truth, lies, or shenanigans?
this is
Truth,
evil.
lies, or shenanigans? It's not.
Again, no. This is shenanigans.
It's
Shouldn't
truth.
be it.
I'm going with truth. It doesn't make sense, but I'm going with truth because I think as a
Wow, we're so
13-year-old,
all-divided on this.
he's a 13-year-old. I mean, come on. We got to give children the benefit of the
Evil
doubt
did so
sometimes.
much, like,
Evil
it
knows no
was so much-
age. Evil knows no age.
I don't know. We got to give kids
Evil
the
knows
benefit
no
of the doubt.
age.
We got to give them
Especially
at
if
some
you
point.
are a
9 years old.
sociopath and a psychopath.
All right, we'll come back to this. We'll come back to this. We'll come back. After show. After.